we used to do the cooking shows, and we'd cook for a little while, and then we'd talk afterwards with the group. And when we moved here, we ran into trouble because the kitchen wasn't really working out very well. And we discovered kind of by accident that the prepping videos seemed to do a lot better. And what we found is that the cooking videos, there was a kind of a small group that we really love, but there were no new people coming really.
Yeah.
Like it was one group that would come, and
we weren't growing.
And so we've been doing a lot of prepping while we're trying to get the kitchen situation figured out. And it's been more successful, but we're not all that excited about the prepping. and after doing some prepping stuff up to now, I would say we kind of think we've said it all, didn't we?
Well, I don't know. I got 13 videos lined up, but we've noticed that on the prepping stuff, people pretty much want all the same stuff. And the prepping videos have done very well for us. Very well. I mean, we're talking a significant jump in our income from doing that. Like probably 60% jump, if not more, in our income. And so,
well, just a lot more people watching. So we figured, obviously, a lot more people seem to be interested in that.
Yeah. Now, I don't mind doing prepping. I don't mind the prepping. But Mike, he really does not want to do the prepping. And Mom is like, well, we've already told them the same thing. I'm like, I know, but that's what they want to hear is the same thing. And so it was just me on the channel by myself. I just discovered our issue. I just need to get rid of you and Mom.
Okay. I'll just go be the office guy who does the website, which needs some work.
And so Mike doesn't want to do the prepping. Mom feels like we're doing the same thing over and over again. And we kind of are, to a point.
So on the prepping, I don't mind. I think it's really great to prepare for emergencies, and I'd really like to do stuff like when we were showing how to do things, how to build things and how to fix things. But what we found is when we do those videos, very few people watch them. And so, but I don't really like all the kind of end of the world, super hardcore prepping stuff, just because, I spent a lot of years being anxious about everything, and I've gotten away from that. And I think it's easy to get stuck in that if you focus on it all the time. And if it was our thing, I would be focusing on it a lot more. So that's my reasoning there.
Yeah.
So I don't mind if it's like stockpiling and building things, but
people don't watch it.
The stockpiling gets people interested, or things that you need to buy or do, like 10 things that you need to buy or do. But when we actually do, like building the gardens, people don't really engage in that very much.
Yeah.
And maybe you do, but as a group, it seems like the whole people are less interested in that. So that's what we're here for, to kind of try to get a sense of who likes what.
Patsy wants to know, how's the remodel in our kitchen coming? It's not. We have not even started with it. Now, we had thought about possibly starting around July or August, somewhere around there. But we are thinking about just getting our house paid off first before doing the kitchen remodel. And then doing the kitchen remodel. We are thinking about getting the studio kitchen up and running. The problem with that is the live shows, we're not sure the internet will work. Can we just put a little zappy thingy out there?
We can make it work. No, the zappy thingy probably won't reach that far. But so that's the technical term for it. But I'm sure we could figure something out. We just weren't talking about it, and then suddenly today we were. So I think we can figure something out to do stuff out there. Yeah, we were talking about the possibility of doing, going ahead and getting the studio set up over there like we originally intended. And there was somebody saying that she really likes quick cooking videos. Actually, if you go to Super Easy Recipes, go to YouTube and just type in Super Easy Recipes, that we have a channel there that we started and we'll probably get back to doing more on, which is short recipes. So, and I saw that you were on Facebook, and I know Facebook, particularly people on Facebook, tend to like
so it's interesting.
Quick things more.
So our Facebook viewers like the cooking shows, but our YouTube viewers want our prepping and stockpile shows. And so it's kind of funny seeing that. And Diana wants to know, do people watch Frugal cooking shows? They don't.
Our issue was
they don't watch them.
We had a small group that really liked it, and it was awesome. But it was just, we kind of wanted to grow. We wanted to have more people interested and kind of have more people that were engaged in what we were doing. So Goshen Prepping is on. Hey there, guys.
And so so that's kind of why we're kind of having an issue with that. By the way, guys, just telling you real quick that our prices on our cookbooks are going up. So if you want one, livingoutadime.com. Monday, they are going up. Don't say I didn't warn you. I'm warning you right now. So just so you know, putting that out there. What about going back to frugal household ideas? Carrie wants to know, showing people how to make things that are in your pretty for pennies, or how to make something using everyday items. So yeah, so that's back to people just don't really like watching that kind of thing. Angela, love Dave Ramsey, but I watch him for that. How about how you are prepared stockpiling? Love the gardens, fertilizer, and the shortages. Yes, pay off your mortgage. Yeah. So the problem with prepping is people like the lists of things to buy, but they don't actually like the how-to. So like when we show how to start a garden, how to make raised beds, how to make your own DIY Berkey, how to make your rocket stove, those videos don't really get that many views on those things. And so, and let me show, I mean, I'll show you guys right here. I'll show you our numbers to show you what we're talking about. So just to put it in perspective, for those of you wondering why we're doing the prepping. So right here's a graph. Let's see, can you see it? Okay, yep, you can see it right there. So right over here, these are cooking. First started some prepping videos. Whoa, went back to cooking right here. And right there's more prepping videos. So you can see why, that's why we've been doing the prepping videos, because that's what people want to watch. And so, so yeah, Catherine, that's not my Christmas tree. That's my Mother's Day flower tree. So that's partly why, just go back to low income living. Well, yeah.
One thing on the prepping that might be helpful for us, because we feel like we're kind of repeating a lot of things, is if you like the prepping, what kind of things would you want us to talk about? Mm-hmm. Because there are some things that we've done and we could do similar things again and again. But then there are a lot of things that we just don't, we think, wow, we've said all this, and I guess we assume that everybody watches every show too, so that could be part of it. So we were just trying to understand that. Mm-hmm. And honestly, our intention was to do saving money and recipes. It's just that that's not been very effective up to now. Well,
and Elaine says, go back to low income living. The problem with low income living that we have had in the past and on our low income living videos is you get a bunch of whiners. I'm sorry, but it's getting old listening to people on Social Security, disability, whatever. And well, I can't do it because of this. I can't do it because of that. And quite frankly, we just got tired of listening to all the whining. Every time we would give people solutions, they would have an excuse for why they couldn't do it. And so that's another reason why we kind of pulled away from the whole Social Security, cheap living type things. So I don't know. That's why we were kind of wanting your input on the things that you like.
Willow Dog says, who cares? Let them whine and ignore them.
Well, and those videos don't do very well because honestly, people don't want solutions. They really don't.
We found that that's sort of the case in some of the prepping too.
Yeah.
Like some people really want to learn stuff, and we've had a lot of people say, thanks particularly with stockpiling for helping with that. But then sometimes if it's like closer to the news, like talking about what's going on, if you say something that's not what everybody else is saying, there's a certain group of people that have this like really intense like desire to be told what they want to hear, not necessarily what you see. And that's been sort of a little stressful in that, like, hey, do you want to hear what you were already thinking, or do you want
the truth?
Relax?
Yeah.
Because a lot of it isn't as bad as, it's bad. There's stuff that's bad, but there are things that you see a little ray of light, and let's talk about the ray of light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Alicia. She says, I make the most beautiful soaps. Will I get back into it? I don't know. So if we get the other studio up, I have all my soap stuff out there. I might get back into it, but yeah. So yeah.
Karen says, cooking with the preps, please. We had talked about that earlier today.
Cooking with the preps. So yeah, so I was on a Zoom call with Kimmy She's in her apron. She's taken the same YouTube course that we were, and she was saying, well, why don't you start cooking with your preps and your stockpile, and then that way we could combine both of them. But yeah, Angela says, how much stockpiling is enough? The LDS Church has a list. Yeah, but I wouldn't go by that list. They have something like 400 pounds of grains per person per year. That's over a pound of grains
per day
per person. That's a ridiculous amount of grains. I would not listen. I would maybe use it as a guideline, but use some common sense, because I think that's absolutely crazy. But anyway,
we stockpile, but not that much. Yeah.
What? Oh, sorry. I guess I missed what you were saying.
I just said we stockpile, but probably not as much as that, do we?
Oh, no. I don't even come close to stocking 400 pounds per person. I've probably got, let's see, 25 times 6, times probably 20. What's 25 times 10? 250. I only have 250 pounds probably of grains for the whole family. So, but I only have about 6 months worth of stockpile or so.
So Michelle says, I think it's says everyone will watch you dance, different music and your own moves, Mom too. And then Martha says, do what's genuinely in your heart. We see so much fake today. We will watch because we care about what you're doing. And Sandy pretty much says the same thing. Those of us now will watch no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That's awesome.
Ooh, Marcela. I don't know how you say that. I saw your video on chicken. You shared how to stock up for the bird flu, for the bird flu. Now my freezer is good with chicken, and I have meals and do not have to worry about high prices. You go, girl. Carrie, do your shopping hauls get enough views? Nope. Nobody cares about my shopping hauls. As a matter of fact, those are some of my worst videos, actually. So that's why I quit doing them.
Well, it was funny because she would say, well, these other channels that are similar to ours are doing them. Maybe we should try that and see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it went off the charts for them. And you're thinking nobody cares.
Yeah.
UCF Mom, did you gain more subscribers when the prepping videos aired? Most of the time, yes.
Yeah. In the last year, we got 30% more subscribers because of the prepping videos. So I don't know. That's why we're kind of curious what you guys enjoy watching. Also, it goes back to time and energy. The cooking videos, these are close numbers, but they're not exact. But let's say I do a cooking video and we get $500 from a cooking video, let's just say. And I do a prepping video and we get 5,000 videos, or even one video gave us $50,000. Well, for us, that's a no-brainer. You're not going to go work for $500 when you can get 5,000 or even 50,000 videos or dollars from a video. And so the jump between the amount of work versus the amount of income is huge. And I know you guys don't see the behind the scenes, but like for the cooking videos, it takes like an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, depending on if I have to pre-cook stuff. 2 hours worth of work to set up for the video. Then we spend an hour to 2 hours going live. And then it's another, 30 minutes to an hour finishing up the cleanup and all of that. And then if it's not a live show, it takes another 3 to 5, 6 hours of editing. And so
Linda says maybe one day a week prepping, organizing preps, and using them in daily life. Lists practical info with it. Another day Bible study, where's God leading you in spite of the numbers. Bible study stuff has been pretty popular.
Yeah, people really like our Bible study stuff, but that's not really our channel.
But we do like to talk about it.
But yeah, how much should 2 adults spend on groceries a month? So I say about $100 per person is how much you should spend on groceries. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do a series on the first, second, and third days of the fecal matter hitting the oscillation unit. Yeah. I don't know. Abby says her favorites from Mom and I are stories of making do with what we had raising kids and paying off debt. Yeah, but they don't do very well. So yeah, that's the problem.
Yes, actually, there's a question from Vaughn here. Do you do your videos on YouTube? Yes, for everyone that's watching on Facebook, we live stream these on YouTube and Facebook. And then on YouTube, there are videos that we don't publish to Facebook. Then you could go to our YouTube channel if you want to see.
Yeah. So like Canadian Prepper, and he's even said this in his videos, that people don't actually want to know the practical stuff. They just want to hear what the latest news is and sitting there talking and not actually getting into the nitty-gritty of how to live with that. Thank you, Kristen, for that super chat. She says our favorite videos my favorite videos are when my oven caught fire, the house tour, and when we lost track of how many cups of flowers we added in in one of my live cooking videos. Yeah, that was something, wasn't it? And I was like, okay, guys, how many did I put in there? Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Frustrating to her, but amusing to all of us afterwards.
Yeah.
After we stopped the smoke detectors.
Yeah. Don't you need our food videos to sell cookbooks? Actually, cookbook sales, which by the way, prices are going up on Monday. So if you want one, grab it now. Cookbook sales are better with prepping videos than they are with cooking videos. Like we're talking sales have gone up 5 times. So, and as a matter of fact, we kept telling you guys, number 1 is almost out of stock. Guess what came last Thursday? Unexpectedly. Wednesday, they were telling us it was still in Seattle. Thursday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, the phone rings and the guy says, I have a delivery for you. And we're like, what?
We'll be there in 2 hours. Oh no, we're totally not organized. But yes, bring it.
So yeah, so that was pretty crazy. So we got volume 1 back in again. Lisa, thank you for that super chat. She says, what about just a random weekly check-in? So here's the thing.
That's kind of what we seem to be doing today.
Well, that's kind of what we're doing today, but here's another thing. So we had thought about trying to just get my channel Super Easy Recipes. Michael put the link in there for you. Super Easy Recipes and getting it up and going. And honestly, just doing a once a week live on Living on a Dime, possibly. But
then we could chit chat on Living on a Dime, and that could be the sort of the thing that we were doing with cooking before.
Yeah, and then I had another idea for a whole totally different channel. But I need a better computer to do it. And we ordered that, and now it's stuck because of all that stuff happening over in China. So now it's stuck, and we won't be having that till July. But that actually could way outpace living on a dime. And if that's the case, then we probably would just, stop living on a dime. But cats, you still have it for 25% off. It's 25% off the price it is now, but our price is going up significantly. So if you want it, grab it now. So Julie says her all-time favorite show was the toilet paper show. That is hilarious. She needed that laugh so badly. Did you appreciate the toilet paper show?
Yes.
No, you didn't. You were mad at me.
Well, I thought it was funny while you could see my reaction when we were doing it. It turned out pretty hilarious.
When we started the show, he's like, "You're going to do what to me?" Kristen, my living on a dime cookbook, dining on a dime right here, is the only cookbook she keeps on her kitchen counter. That is great. That is great. Your DIY videos are my favorite, says Sue. Do a show on cooking and living like we did in the Depression days. Actually, I thought about doing Depression cooking videos because like 90% of the recipes in here are Depression recipes from my grandmas and great grandmas. So that's why I think it would go really well with Depression cooking, but I don't know if anybody would watch it. So I don't know. We were thinking about getting it or giving it a try and see how that would do it. Kimberly says, "Don't stop. This is my weekly mental health uplift." Aw, thanks, Kimberly. Oh, Kimberly, you've been with us from like the beginning. You've been with us a really long time. Thank you. Let's see.
Oh, thank you, Nika. I think just found you last week and loved you share the truth and ordered a cookbook. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
It was really hilarious when we were literally down to our last probably 2 boxes of volume 1, and we were thinking we're gonna have to go to back ordering, which we absolutely hate to do.
Yeah.
Because it's really difficult on our end to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day, they just showed up here. Of course, unfortunately, because we had short notice, Tara and I had to manage the 3,000-pound pallets down the hill without the boys.
Yeah. So Debbie says, "Sadly, it sounds like you're getting burned out, which is upsetting." I'm not sure what the question mark means. I think maybe an exclamation point maybe is what she was meaning. I'm not quite sure, but let me tell you, Debbie, I have been burned out for the last 20 years. So I'm beyond. Honestly, that is part of the problem. Making the decision is I'm so beyond burned out. It's not even funny, which is partly why we've thought about just totally changing directions. But part of it is it's frustrating. I mean, I know that we have helped people, and I know that I know a lot of people have taken our advice, but what you guys don't see behind the scenes, and actually we're leaving more of it now, but we really get a lot of people who just do nothing but make excuses. I mean, probably 50% of our comments are people making excuses or whining, that kind of thing. And you just get kind of tired of it. You're kind of like, okay, you know what? I'm really sorry, but kind of like housing prices. Well, I can't afford to buy a house. Okay, I totally get that. But when you compare 1997, when we bought our first house, the average income was $36,000 and the average house was $116,000. Now, household income was $36,000. Average house was $116,000. Now, the average household income is $87,000, and the average house to buy is $350,000. Well, incomes have gone up to compensate for these things. I totally understand. some people on Social Security, fixed income, that type of thing. That may not be you. It may not have, I totally get that. But on average, incomes have gone up. So that really, the average house price is really only about 5% above what it was when we first bought our house in 1997. So that's why I kind of get a little tired and I'm like, get together, people, because, I don't know. So, you have helped me so much. I was able to retire early.
Oh, yay. That's awesome.
That's great. Oh, thanks so much, Mother Havoc, I think. There's a fellow named Jack, and he says that we are his favorite YouTube channel.
What?
Oh, well, Jack, thanks for watching. And thanks for setting up for your favorite YouTube channel.
That is awesome. I'd say he's one of my top 5 favorite
top favorite fans.
I'm not sure the others are fans. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. That's probably true.
We just want to Tracy says, we just want to hear you say, get it together, people.
Well, and that's partly why I say get it together, people, because, if I can rent an apartment for $150 a month when I'm getting $300 a month from my disability, you certainly can have a house payment for $2,000 if you're bringing in $4,000. I'm not saying it's ideal, but it can be done if you actually want to. And so,
yeah, I think we wouldn't make that deal at the beginning if we knew that it was going to be that way. But there have been times when our income was really, really low and rents were only double that, we did do that a little bit.
I need to just do a get together people channel. I need to just take all the whining and just do a video on every one of them. That's what I should do.
Tara responds to whining comments. Everyone would watch that. It would blow up with all the get it togethers. We'd have to get a special table that doesn't deteriorate when you smack it.
So we now have our camera on the table, which is why it shakes sometimes. So sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I don't know.
I was leaning on it.
Let's see. Everybody would watch the Depression era cooking videos. Well, that's what I was thinking. And like in here, I have in Dining Volume 1, which by the way, just another announcement. Prices are going up, guys, just so you know. Monday, we are raising prices. So if you want to get a good deal, right now is your good deal. Let me see if here. So like my Grandma Addie's biscuits. This is my mom's dad's mom. My mom's dad's mom. Yeah. Oops, what page was that? So like with Grandma Addie's biscuits here. So what she did was the recipe is flour in a bowl. So she just kept flour in a great big bowl. And then she put a cup of buttermilk in the center, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, a pinch of salt or a pinch of soda and salt, and 3 digs of lard. That was her recipe. And every morning she would make biscuits for my grandpa, and she just had this great big bowl of flour, and she just kept the bowl of flour and she'd just make the biscuits in the center. So I thought about doing videos like that. So I don't know. I thought those might be kind of fun. And I love all of the old cookbooks. Actually, what I want to do, and this is a whole nother channel, but what I want to do is I want to take old cookbooks and make the recipes in old cookbooks.
To see if you can do it?
And, well, just because some of them are crazy. So now how to cook raccoon, I don't know how to get Mike to shoot a raccoon, or what do you do with a raccoon? I don't know. Do you trap it maybe? I can't imagine you wouldn't shoot it, would you? Because then it would explode everywhere and then you'd have no raccoon to eat, right?
I think I would stop before the raccoon. I have noticed seeing
But-
the pheasants out in the yard. They're like big chickens.
So I don't know how you would do that. So then I thought we could take a picture in the cookbook and make our own cookbook to go with it. I think that's a great idea.
A lot
But
of people liking that idea.
Clara still gets millions of views. Depression cooking and recipes would be awesome. I know, she's dead and she gets millions of views. She's got 46 videos. We were just looking at it today. I'm like, wow. So I don't know. Sarah says she just likes watching us and how we banter with each other. Oh, thanks.
Did you see Tanya A gave a super chat and oops, it just went away. Oh, she's a regular. There was another super chat as well, but I don't see it on the screen here. Do you?
It just says Tanya A.
Yeah, there was another one. I was trying to remember who it was. Well, thank you.
Jane from the country.
No, this was another regular. Anyway, she said, no excuses here. I work 3 jobs, single mom with 2 kids at home. My fiance passed away 3 years ago. Sorry about that. 6 months after buying our house, but still holding my own. It's great that you're holding your own. Sorry you had that happen to you.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
A lot of people saying, just be you. We love you no matter what you're doing.
Just be me.
Thank you.
So what do you like about us? Tell us I mean, I don't see the light. I don't see what people find interesting, I guess.
Oh, it was Kristen. Yeah, it was Kristen Liveacres.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. We should have seen Mike's face when I mentioned the raccoon. What was your face when you mentioned the raccoon? What did you do? Let me see.
I was like, something like that. I'm guessing that's what it was. That's my usual. I don't want to eat something that resembles a cat face.
Gluten-free, dairy-free cooking specialty stuff might get more views. No, they don't. Actually, they get way less views. Eric from Goshen Prepping says he'll show you how to shoot a raccoon. How's this, Eric?
I could
shoot
one.
the raccoon, put it on ice, and ship it to me.
I could shoot one. I just wouldn't want to do anything with it after that.
So
just a little side note, there was a mountain lion spotted in our neighborhood
one block right here. Mountain lion spotted, and then we found bear poop in our yard last week.
Definitely looks like it.
Yeah. So
Becky, I think Becky B says, I think the attraction of Claire's videos is that she lived during the Depression and was cooking from experience. Yeah. And it's funny because we've heard from the people that did that, but unfortunately the one we had, Tara's grandmother, doesn't really feel comfortable coming on.
So my grandmother's, she's 90. She just turned 94. They were supposed to be watching, but I don't see them on here. Is here now. We went to Colorado this weekend and picked her up and brought her up here. And I told her, I said, Grandma, you need to come on. You'll make my channel blow up. I told her she's falling down on the job, but she's like, nobody would want to see me. I'm like, yes, they would. But she wouldn't listen to me. So
Van Bernie says, my dad cooked raccoon. It was so tender and tasted like pulled pork.
Well, there you go.
I don't know if I'm that brave.
I don't know.
Well, thank you everyone for the very encouraging comments. There are a lot of people saying they would watch whatever we do. So that's really awesome.
Let's see. Yes, Grandma, we want to see you. Jennifer says that's hilarious. I'm gonna
save that for Grandma.
Yeah. So we went and picked up Grandma this weekend. Saw the kids. Saw Ellie a lot. Saw BJ once. We actually went down there to see BJ because Ellie's come up here a couple of times, but we haven't seen BJ since Christmas. And we ended up going down there for 4 nights, I don't know. Anyway, and we thought we were going to be able to see him a lot, but then he was working. So we only got to see him for 2 hours, but it was worth it to see his handsome face that we love.
Yeah.
So actually, he's wanting to be the ultimate prepper. He's wanting to move to a Midwest state and go off grid totally. I told him, I said, can I film you doing all this and put it on the channel? So he's wanted to get off the internet and everything. Lisa, what are you having for dinner tonight? Lisa, I haven't even thought about it yet. It's probably going to be cereal.
Oh.
I know. Actually, today's been a pretty stressful day. At 9:30, 9:45, we started discussing all of this about the show. And I didn't stop until so Mike and I started the discussion. Then Kimmy from She's in Her Apron and I started a discussion at, 11:30? So Mike and I talked from 9:30 or so to 11:30. And then I got on with Zoom with Kimmy. We talked from 11:30 to 2.
Yeah.
So my brain, I literally had to go sit outside. I got some new raised beds for $100. I got some more the night before we left for Colorado. It was so cold. It was sleeting. It was like 30 degrees. It was this snowy sleet stuff. And we are piling 7 huge, we're talking 6 foot by 4 foot raised, or 3 foot raised beds on the pickup that the brakes weren't working on, that we did not know. And
wait, which part was this?
Picking up the new raised beds. And I got them for $100. The wood alone was worth $100. And so we got all those. Where was I going with this? Oh, I remember. So after I got done with Kimmy, my brain was so shot that I went out and was cleaning those up because we're supposed to get snow on Friday. So I'm like, well, at least I can get started on the garden. And my brain just could not handle us talking about what to do with the channel anymore because I don't know.
Well, and some people talked about just coming on and talking, and honestly, we would love to just do that. The main thing is that in order for people to want to know if they actually want to watch, we found that if we don't say what a topic is, a lot fewer people will watch.
Yeah.
So
we can't just say, hey, we're chatting. People don't.
We have to. So sometimes you might notice that we have a topic and we talk about it for 10 or 15 minutes and then we just chat. Partly that's wise because sort of need to have some reason for people to know why they want to watch it.
So how did we know it was bear poop? So I took a picture, and first of all, I looked it up online and it looked pretty close to the same. And then I posted it on a local Facebook page that I'm on, and like 90% of the people were like, it's bear. So pretty sure it was.
Susan wants to know if we've ever regretted our move.
To Wyoming?
Yes.
No. To Colorado? Wish we would have moved here first. But, live and learn. We think we were meant to go to Colorado for other reasons. So
Sue is asking, what is our planting season here?
Hello, Tammy. Hello. Our planting season actually doesn't start till around June 1st. I think we're supposed to get snow on Friday. And the 10-day after Friday is looking really good. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put in all my plants on Friday. I found on Facebook, my goodness, the price of plants doubled this year. So plants really went expensive. But I found a lady who grew too many tomatoes and peppers, and mine were doing awful. I didn't put up my grow lights. I should have put up my grow lights. I just put them in our window that gets like 2 hours of sun a day. I knew better, but I'm just exhausted and just didn't feel like messing with it. And I regretted it. Well, this lady had overgrown too many tomatoes and peppers, and she was selling them for $2 each. So, and they're like nice size. And so I went and bought several of them from her. Here's the thing. I'm putting in all these gardens and I'm growing all this food. Who's going to eat it? The boys don't eat vegetables. Mike only eats cucumbers, lettuce, green beans, carrots.
I would eat
spinach,
the green and yellow squash. I could try the other squashes. I just haven't ever had them really.
So I'm the only one in the family who eats tomatoes, and I've got like 12 tomato plants.
We used to make that awesome
salsa
with it. It was so awesome.
So I guess I'll make salsa and freeze it. But I mean, I have all this plans for growing stuff, and I like to just grow stuff just to grow it. But what I might do is barter if chickens aren't out, although most people who have chickens have a garden, so that may not work. But I don't know what I'm going to do with all this produce, but.
What about a cooking with grandma segment? It would be so sweet. We would probably do that if she would do it, but I think she's camera shy.
Whoa. Seriously? Lisa says plants are 3 for $5 in your grocery store. Man, that's a good deal. It'd be worth me driving out to Ohio.
Nancy, yes. If you go to our website and click on the contact form, the P.O. box is there. So yes, if you want to send us something, you can do that. So livingonadime.com, just click on contact. So let's see.
Once again, real quick, while Mike's grabbing another question.
Donna's
our cookbooks are going up. Our cookbooks are going up in price on Monday. So if you want a good deal, grab it now because they're going up in price on Monday. Donna Sinesco?
Yes.
Donna!
Yay.
We got to see Donna and Dan on our trip down.
It was awesome.
They are great. They are great.
We stopped the channel, didn't we?
She was a viewer, and then she became one of my assistants. And then she's just our friend now. She's not my assistant anymore because I closed down that portion that I was doing, but
which was the soap.
Which was the soap stuff. But
yeah,
she was a good assistant.
Sandy says, for grandma, we need a hidden camera. That would be great.
That would be funny. Yeah, farmers market. The problem is there's a lot of people that grow things here. So the farmers market is just saturated here. But here's the thing. It's very interesting because last summer, fall, we noticed stuff grows really good in Sheridan. I mean, I was just floored by how gorgeous all of their plants were here. I mean, their vegetables look great. All of their flowers were just gorgeous. And I think, you know what I think it is? I think it's the Alaska thing. I think because we have an extra 2 hours of sunlight here than we did down when we lived more southern.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's maybe why they do, even though it's a shorter growing season, because here it's only from around the last week of May, the first week of June to maybe the end of September. I think that's maybe why. So
you had a lot of people saying, yes, they would love to see you make old recipes. Anne said there's another channel that's making recipes for old cookbooks, and I love watching.
Oh, really?
Yep.
But see, that'd have to be a whole nother channel probably.
Well, that is one of the problems that we've discovered as we've gone through class that we went through is that if we change topics a lot, then YouTube is confused about what we're about. And I think that's how we ended up kind of more in prepping than in saving money and cooking, which is where we started. So we would have to kind of, I still think that we could kind of go into that because it's not unrelated. Lane says Mike would like butternut squash. It's sweet. I've never tried the butternut or the spaghetti. Are those two? An acorn squash. I might have tried them when I was younger. I had this thought in my mind that I didn't like them, but I've never really tried them. I think I didn't try them because the innards look like pumpkin. But I told Tara if she makes them, I would try them for sure. But
it's picky.
Yeah, whatever. I would eat the beans though, and peppers and tomatoes as salsa, and I'd probably chop them up and put them on tacos.
Do we have a backup if
Onions.
Living on a Dime is done? Nope.
Well, the thing on Living on a Dime is we still have the website and books as well. So, and if for some reason that stopped, I would probably do something different online because we kind of know a lot of how to do a lot of these things now. Just trying to figure out how to get to where we can figure out what's the show we're doing this week.
Do we have canning videos? No, we don't can. Mom and I don't can. So, Cam, I didn't know you were going back to Colorado. That's great. Could we do a show on how to store your preps? So yes, we have gone back and forth about storing our preps, and probably I'm going to do a show on that. But, that can only, I mean, how many videos can you do on that one? So, honestly, my preps aren't that impressive. I mean, I'll show it to you, but because we moved and got rid of most of it, I only have about 6 months worth at the moment. And I'll be honest, I totally got stockpile burnout. I was like, I'm so tired of going to the grocery store with a full cart every single time and hauling it home. And so I finally just had to take a break, got what I had organized, and probably in a week or two, I'll do a little bit. I'll start. Well, we still do a little bit. Like we'll pick up, like the other day we went and we stocked up on deodorant. And the week before that, I stocked up on toothpaste. And so probably, well, I'm still doing some, so it's not like I'm not. But yeah, if you guys want a bean veggie burger, you guys are talking about Dining on a Dime cookbook, yummy. I don't like vegetarian stuff, but that was pretty good.
Crazy Cat Lady 67 said, "Yes, Mike's picky. He picked you."
Oh, thanks.
Actually, that was an act of God. Like God led me to her, so that was awesome.
Julie, what is the most important item to plant if you have limited space? Also, no green thumb. Well, whatever vegetable you eat the most or is the most expensive. So like if you like peppers and carrots, I would grow peppers over carrots because carrots are cheaper than peppers. So you can get those at the grocery store for cheaper than peppers. Or if you like eggplant really well, eggplant's super expensive. So I would plant eggplant over, other things. So I would do what you eat and what's the most expensive in your grocery store for you to do. So like for me, tomatoes are fairly expensive here. So I would do that. But Jane from the country ATAR, I liked it when you did all your home decor furniture. Yeah, but nobody watched those videos. That's the problem. Nobody else liked it.
That one did really well, the outdoor couch that she redid and put on our deck. And then after that, the rest of it didn't.
Yeah, that's the only one that did well. But that was a really crazy makeover too. So what's the best advice for widows? Don't spend more than you earn. I mean, that's what it all boils down to is, first of all, don't buy anything you don't need, truly need. And don't spend more money than you earn. So.
Oh, who said that? Diana, all that you do is practical living. Is practical living a YouTube category? Prepping, cooking, recipes, and finances are all practical. It's funny because we were trying to figure out a way to position that where, see what happens is, I assume Facebook does the same thing, but YouTube kind of tries to understand categories. Like if you're doing a crocheting show, they know you're about crocheting. But if your category has a lot of facets to it, then it's a little harder because it's a computer trying to understand.
Yeah. LP, don't listen to YouTube. They ruin everything. Yeah, except that we have to listen to them because the numbers don't lie. I mean, people can tell me they want my cooking videos all day long, but when you see a graph like this right there, see all those spikes? Those are prepping videos right there. Those are all prepping videos. Numbers don't lie.
It doesn't tell us we should do this or that. It just says, oh, this many people watched. And we also can see things like about what percent of a video did the average person watch and at what point. Sometimes if we say something in particular, we can see that at that point the video dropped or it went up because maybe they watched it a second time. So we can see all that, which is really helpful.
Yeah. Nancy, tired of all the prepping video channels out there. Yours is one of the best. Oh, thanks. Well, I appreciate it. We do have a lot of people who say that that they appreciate that we don't just go crazy. But to their defense, that makes good money. So I don't blame them for doing it at all because that's where the money is the fear. So yeah.
Jane from the country is asking if we grow Brussels sprouts, do we remove the mulch?
I've never grown Brussels sprouts, so I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't know why you would remove the mulch. I mean, you would let the seed come up first, and then I would mulch around the base. I mean, honestly, I don't know that one. That's a gardening question I can't answer. So,
hey, you said that I didn't eat anything from the garden, but remember when we were in Idaho, we had broccoli and we had strawberries and we had we had apples, but that was trees. And then there was something else you made that I ate.
Well, you don't eat broccoli anymore.
Well, I like broccoli, but technically I'm not supposed to eat it. But I would probably eat it if you had it in the garden.
Do we let Jack play outside if there's wild animals? Yeah.
So the thing on that is that even though we heard that there was the mountain lion around here somewhere, we go hiking in the woods with the mountain lions out there, and they're not normally here. They just come down this time of the year because there's water near us. And the same with we haven't seen a bear. We just have seen evidence that a bear was likely here. And last year there was a bear in this area too. But they don't usually hang out or kind of wander around the properties. So, although I think with the deer, that could be sort of what they. Susanna was wondering, what drinks do you stockpile? Do you stockpile any drinks?
So tea and coffee, and then I do have some well, I don't have any now. I need to restock. And Memorial Day is actually a good day to stock up, or a good time to stock up on drinks like lemonade and Kool-Aid, country Kool-Aid type things to help people if they get dehydrated. Those help really well. And so usually they're on sale for Memorial Day. So check the ads next Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, depending on when your ads come out. But yeah, Music Mad, do I remember the blue-green color paint? I don't. It was sort of a peacock-ish color is what it is. So
Allie Oakley, are you going to get bear spray? We actually already have bear spray.
Yeah.
We don't usually carry it around with us though when we're out in the yard. We mostly use it for taking on hiking. But if we saw something nearby, I've kind of looked around. I didn't see anything on our property, even though it appears that something was on our property.
Lane says, break down prepping, storing the flour, storing the potatoes, how to save seed, how to break it down in basic planning. Yeah.
Do you stockpile water?
Yeah, bit. Some. But we have 3 sources of water in our backyard. And I have a DIY water filter that we did. And so I'm not too worried about water, but yeah. And when we moved in here, there was a problem with the water and we had to use our water filter. So I got to test that out. So that was really good. I had thought about doing another video going down to the pond, scooping the water out of the pond and having Mike drink it.
Put a life straw right there. Having Mike drink it? What? That's just because I ate the cheese on that island in Scotland. Somebody's going to ask to hear that story.
No, they're not.
I like that your channel's a little bit of everything and it has biblical content. Yeah, I see there are a lot of people talking about loving the Bible study ideas and things like that. And we kind of have been thinking that we keep doing those shows from time to time, although I don't know about making it. Some people have said make it all that, but it looked like when we were looking at what people wanted from it, I don't think that making the whole channel about a Bible study was as high on the list for people. So we probably still do it sometime. So like we've been doing. Will cantaloupe grow here?
Cantaloupe in Wyoming? I don't know, but I've got some seeds that I'm starting, so we'll see. So
Jen says, how about having local people interviews, prepping, finance, etc., like small times Rachel Ray? I didn't know about her doing that. And then Jennifer also said, what about taking calls from viewers who want your advice on how to save in their specific situation?
Honestly, I wouldn't mind doing that. I wouldn't mind doing a Dave Ramsey thing where people call in and have a call-in show. I would like doing that because, you know me, I'm just bossy and I like to tell people what to do. And no comments from the peanut gallery. And you're not even listening to me, are you?
I am.
And so, I mean, like the Dave Ramsey thing, we visited our old neighbor while we were down there, and she said, "Oh, Tara, I just miss you so much. I've learned so much from you, and you just always have the answer for everything." And she used to be, I don't know what, didn't really care about the price of anything, didn't comparison shop or anything like that. And then I was her neighbor for a while. Now she's like, "Oh, you would be so proud of me. I found this deal and I found that deal." So,
I just saw her a couple days ago.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
So it's funny because, yeah.
Diane says, "Go ahead, Mike, tell us the story." Okay.
No, Woo!
So we were in Scotland, and Tara was staying at the farm where we were, and the kids and I went out on a boat because we had seen a castle on an island out in the loch, the giant lake that they have there. And there were several islands there, and the kids and I ended up renting a boat, and they gave us the boat for the whole day. So we kept landing on all these deserted islands that had things, and we discovered the old castle, and we discovered a graveyard that had like people buried from the Crusades times there and stuff. And on one of the islands, we found a little Baby Bell cheese. It was completely sealed, so we figured somebody had probably left it there not that long ago. But we were all debating whether we should eat it or not, and so I think the kids kind of dared me, so I did. But it was all sealed completely, so I'm sure it was fine. So that's the
thanks.
story.
A lot of people say they subscribe because of our Bible teaching. So, I mean, and that's partly it works with the prepping videos. It really works, the Bible stuff in there, because, you know, a lot of the Bible we are seeing come to life right now with everything happening with digital currency, with microchips in your hand, with famines, earthquakes, supply chain issues, all those kinds of things. You're seeing the Bible come to life. So it really helps. The prepping videos do help with that. And it helps us, you know, one of our things that we do, for those of you that don't know, we give away Bibles for free. And so, you know, it kind of helps, push that too. So yeah, but Jay Moore, I used to have a payoff house, but between crazy soccer and going ghetto with shooting the crime, had to start over. Oh, so sorry about that, Jay Moore. Yeah, sometimes you just got to start over.
Jane,
keep going.
Jane from the country says, many of your chats here have paid off houses. Woo!
Woo! Oops, we didn't do that.
And I think she said that she had paid off. My spouse and I following no spend lifestyle until mortgage is paid off. Ah, cool.
Wow.
That's one of the things that we were noticing is that one of the biggest issues is people just spend too much money in general, and especially in America, because there are just a lot of optional things that it's hard for people to see, oh, these are actually optional things.
Yeah.
And a lot of that spending, if you just cut most of it, most people can pay off all their debt in their house without too much time.
Somebody said do a video with the rocket stoves. Actually, I have them sitting right there since December. They've been sitting right there since December to do the video on cooking with a rocket stove. I just know it's going to be a really complicated video to do, and I'm honestly not sure if anybody's going to watch it. So once again, it's that whole going back to how much energy I expend making a video, and then if people are going to watch it. So just a second, while Mike's going to look for comments real quick, let me say, guys, we have our undated planners, and if you guys want our planners, they are huge, huge, huge. Here's the green one right here. We have them in stock, but I don't think I'm going to do a reprinting until we can find a big printer. So just so you know, if you want one, it is undated. And if you go to Living on a Dime, go to the shop and click on our printer, there's a video on how you use it. So please do Depression era cooking. Yeah, that's what I did. Do we ever show our prepper pantries in our videos? No, I haven't shown it. So, I mean, I could do that.
We were talking about that.
Do a live stream so you don't have to edit. Yeah, so the problem with the live streams is that's a good idea. But the live streams don't get as many views as the short ones because people don't want to watch an hour or two video. So,
although the view time is higher because people watch for 20 minutes on average, probably.
Evenly says, I love my planner. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you love the planner.
Actually, though, she's right. The rocket stove as a live stream would be highly entertaining.
Yeah, it would be entertaining. That would be.
You like that time when we
You
were.
want to say hi? Hello.
You like.
We should show them how tall you've gotten. Okay. We should show them how tall you've gotten. Jack has surpassed me in height. Are we gonna? Do you want to show them? Sure. Okay, Dad, do the camera. Okay, you ready? Okay. Here.
Okay. It's
Hold on. Wait. Do it this way. Do it this way. No, he said.
Wait.
He doesn't listen to me. Okay. Now, you ready?
Are you talking about me?
Look at this. I know. Can you believe it? My baby. I can't even reach the top of his head to kiss it anymore. He's half a head taller than me now.
Carrie says that boy named Jack. Oh, they're saying you're cute.
Oh, Tammy, my wonderful cousin that I love. She said since she has changed jobs from working at home or working in her town to being she's a CNA, traveling CNA. She's only $3,000 from paying off her house. You go, girl.
Woohoo!
You go, girl. Let's see. Everybody's saying, "Oh, Jack, you're so handsome," and they're all saying hi to you.
He's 12, but he'll be 13 next month.
Yeah.
So yep.
So, sorry, we don't all share your religion. I don't watch you much because of this. Maybe have your religious views on another channel. Well, it's my channel, so sorry. I'm not here to cater to anyone, so that's
it's the whole package.
Yeah, I'm not gonna apologize for that. So, do you get information about who watches what from different countries? Yes.
We don't get information about individual viewers, but we'll get many percent are in the
Mm-hmm.
US and so many percent, and the vast majority are in the US. And as far as advertising and stuff, if the majority was not in the US, that would probably reduce the advertising.
Yeah. Let's see. Most of our viewers are women, like 85% are women. They are mostly in their 40s to 70, 65, 40 to 75. They are, what was the other thing I was going to say? I can't remember. But anyway, yeah. But let's see. All right. Have I check out Prep Stutters? Krista is a Christian. Yeah, I like her channel. She seems like a good gal, and she's got really good information. Do you have the ebook for the planner to print? So we have the 2022 one, but I'm still waiting from my designer to get me the ebook version of this one. This is 366 days, just so you guys know. So that's why it's large, lot of room to put everything so that you can have all that you want in there, get everything in there and still have lots of space.
How do we know those things? YouTube just tells us statistics, and there's probably a margin of error. So, but for the most part, YouTube and Google and Facebook and all of them, they just, like, if you're on YouTube and you watch a lot of things, I don't know how exactly they figure it out, to be honest.
Yeah.
But and that doesn't mean everybody is in that group. And honestly, it's more about what people are interested in than how old they are and all that. But that's the stuff that YouTube will tell us.
So come behind us for just a minute. They want to know what's your best money saving tip.
Don't buy stuff you don't need.
Whoa! That could be a whole book by itself.
You listen to your mom and dad say the same thing over and over, don't you?
Where's Dave?
Funny.
He's here somewhere.
He's down. He's moved his bedroom, so he's setting up his. Yeah, he's moving. So, let's see. I watch because you speak the truth about the Bible. Don't stop. I'm so glad you told that person. Well, so here's the thing. I do not understand. Well, here's the thing. I'm not trying to be offensive, but I do not understand. If you don't like what I'm talking about, don't watch. when I go to channels and I don't agree with what they're talking about, and I don't agree with the things they're saying, I just leave. I don't comment. I don't do nothing. I don't give them a dislike, nothing. I just leave. And I don't understand why people find it so difficult. Just leave. I do not care. I really don't. And so
yeah, I mean, it's
my channel.
It's fine if you don't want to see those shows, but just we have other people that are regulars that don't want to see them, and if they realize, oh, this is a Bible topic and I don't want to hear it, then they just don't watch it that day.
Yeah.
But they still come back. I mean, you don't have to come back, because sometimes on a channel I've watched for a long time, just the content doesn't interest me anymore and I just don't watch it. But sometimes I watch it, sometimes and not at other times. So
yeah,
that's totally cool.
Where I'm not offensive, people are too sensitive. That's part of the problem. I'm sorry, you're not going to catch me being politically correct. Sorry. Okay. I heard another prepper say that's going to be a crazy summer. Do you believe that? No, I don't. And I did a video on that, and they just about crucified me in the comments because I said that. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. I definitely hope I'm right, but I don't know. So we'll see. I mean, and if I'm wrong, well, then you should have been listening to me for the last 25 years when I've been telling you that you need to get your debt paid off and you need to get your stockpile up. Because that's what we've been saying for 25 years now. We have been saying this. 25 years. 25 years. That's a long time.
There was, I forgot what, yeah.
Somebody asked, how do we know what our statistics are on YouTube? They tell us. I mean, if you guys don't think you're being watched on YouTube and Facebook, Google knows everything you're doing. Let me tell you, if you're on your phone, they know it all. So you ain't hiding nothing from them. And so part of that they share with creators like us because it helps us grow our channel. So that's part of it. Do we have a bundle deal on our cookbooks? We do not, but I will tell you our prices are going up on Monday. So if you want them for less, get it now. So Josephina, our faith is the reason why I love your channel. How we tell it like it is. Oh, thanks.
Several people have asked what subjects. Well, Kara asked, what is the most enjoyable type of video for you to make? Just curious. And Susan asked, what are your favorite subjects to talk about? I don't know. Gardening. Well, so let's see. Okay, so let's start over. So if I had to start over all the way from scratch, from the very beginning, it would be a tips video. And so I would probably do tips videos like we started with. That's what I like doing. Now, I know that a lot of people like this series and everything, but we made the huge mistake of doing the Penny Pinching Mama series. We should have never done that series. But what happened was we turned our channel a different direction that we really didn't want to go by doing that Penny Pinching Mama series. And then we had a super, super hard time. That's what kind of ruined our channel. I know it helped a lot of people, and a lot of people like watching it, and I'm glad. But as far as just the channel goes, I would have just stayed doing tips and easy recipes and how-to stuff. Or I would just do answering questions type thing. So those are the things that I would probably do. We didn't know. But we didn't know back then. We were just trying to figure out what people wanted and giving it to them and helping people. And it worked out to a certain degree. What we didn't understand is that, particularly since we were kind of some of the early adopters on YouTube, we didn't know how things worked exactly, and we were just trying things. And so some things like the penny pinching mama, even though a lot of people liked it, it gives the robot a confusing message about what we're about.
Mm-hmm.
So that was where we were confused.
Ooh, Beth says, I'm retired in this channel. Help me retire. You go, Beth. You've been with us forever too. I'm so glad.
Yay.
I did not know that. You've probably told me, but I forgot. So my brain is like mush anymore.
Susanna, if we were filthy rich, would we still be frugal? Yes.
To a point, yeah. I mean, so like...
We're not washing paper towels frugal.
No, but you know, like I would still get us stuff off of the we have an upcycle Facebook thing that we're part of. So I would still get stuff like that. I would probably do things like buy a new car or a new truck. We have a car and a truck, but the truck doesn't really work as a second car. The truck is kind of, as we really need to haul something, we can't really use it as a second vehicle because it's unreliable. And so I would probably get something like another truck or another something like that. But I don't know, what would we, I mean, we're considered rich now. That's why we changed our channel, Living on a Dime to Grow Rich, because we were so frugal. And now, because we've been frugal, we are considered rich.
We're not really rich though.
Huh?
I would say we're not rich, but we're...
Well, according to our numbers, we're considered rich. Our assets, we are.
Okay.
But it's all in our assets. We don't have it in cash. So like we have it in books in our business and we have it in our house. So if we sold everything, we could retire and be good with that if we sold everything. But honestly, I really like this house and I like living here. And I don't feel like it's time to give up on the business yet. But
and depending on what retiring is, like if retiring was just stopping pretty much all, I guess if we weren't working at all, you'd probably keep yourself enthusiastic about gardening and painting and stuff, right? But
yeah, I have a lot of hobbies. I have way too many hobbies.
But I would find it difficult to stop completely, I think, doing something on that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I can't see us just totally stopping. Do we shop at thrift stores? Yeah. When we were in Colorado this weekend, I bought all the boys a whole bunch of clothes. And I would go to thrift stores before I would get new, probably. But do we make videos? Do we make money on live YouTube videos? Yeah, by selling cookbooks and then ads later. So although the lives bring us more cookbook sales, the short videos bring us more ad revenue. So what do we think about next week with the governments? I have no idea what that means, Valerie. I'm sorry, I don't watch the news, so I maybe have missed something on that. Monique.
Betty says she's been watching us from the beginning. Why, thank you.
Thanks.
That
wow.
was what's really funny is we started doing uploaded videos about short how-to things. But when we first went live, I was thinking, why would anyone want to watch us live?
He wasn't going to do the live stuff. And actually the live stuff is what propelled our video. It's what had our YouTube channel take off. And so, so people like the live videos, but as a matter of fact, let me see if I can get it up here. Well, it's kind of hard to tell. Well, so, okay, so it's kind of hard to tell, but let me show you guys here. So you see this right here. This is when we were doing the tip videos and like the Penny Pitch Mama series. Okay, and then here's where Fold a Fitted Sheet went viral. That went viral. But then here, it's hard to tell, but up here, there's an uptick. Right here is where we started going live. And it's hard to tell, but that's actually 3 times higher than the non-live shows. So the live shows really upticked us for doing the video, or for doing YouTube. We weren't doing anything with just the tip videos. So that's why I'm like, well, I would like to do that, but I don't know if that would really do anything. So I don't know. Oh, hello, mother and grandmother. They are watching on there.
Grandma, everyone was asking for you.
They want to see you, Grandma. They want you to cook your depression. So you know what Grandma's favorite thing she ate in the depression was? Her 25-cent a box Kraft macaroni and cheese. Every day her mom would give her a quarter to go buy it at the store. And she remembers that. So that's funny. What about parenting tips? People don't like our parenting tips because they're older. Our audience is older, so they're done with parenting. So that's why they don't do very much. Lindy, you helped me so much when we did a phone consultation a few years ago. Debt-free except for the house. That's great. I was actually thinking about you the other day, wondering how you were doing. I'm so glad you said that. That is great. How did we like the blood eclipse? We were in Colorado and couldn't see it very well. I mean, we saw it, but it didn't look very red. So
it was cool that it completely eclipsed the moon, but we didn't see any color to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you could do live advice on being frugal, live phone calls. Yeah, I mean, I would like doing that because I like sharing everything I've learned. So that's part of my problem. I do like teaching different things. So I don't know. Lisa says, hi, Jill and Grandma. We would love to meet you. See, Grandma, I told you so. I told you. Where's our son moving to? Maybe the Midwest. So do we believe the blood moon was an ominous sign? No. I mean, the Bible talks about blood moons and how the sun's going to be dark and the moon's going to be blood red. But do I think it's an ominous sign? No. Do I think it's a sign in the Bible of the second coming of Christ? Yes, I do. It's Matthew 24, for those of you wondering where it talks about that. So yeah, Mike's birthday is in December.
Yep.
So, yep. Mine is in July and I'm turning 50 this year.
Woohoo! Just the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Lynn says, I just discovered you guys maybe a month or two ago, and I love watching you all. Thank you. We're really glad you're here.
Thank you so much. When is Tara's birthday? So Mom's birthday's in June and mine's in July.
Yep.
And I'm going to be 50 this year. Did I mention that? Actually, did it bother you turning 50?
Did I turn 50? Just kidding. No. It actually, that's the thing.
I haven't really thought about it.
I have yet to have gotten to an age where I feel like everybody says they feel when they get older.
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it actually because I don't know. I just haven't. So Nicole says she started watching in 2019. We've helped her make up her mind to pay off her house. That is great. That is great. Do you and Mike agree on the end times? Mostly. We interpret a couple of verses differently that he gets extremely testy about. But that's okay. So, but we both agree that the rapture is coming, that there's going to be a 7-year tribulation. There's a second coming. We both agree it's a pre-trib rapture and all of that. So, the main stuff we don't.
Mostly, I don't think that we're called to spend a tremendous amount of time focusing on the end times.
You say that, but 30% of the Bible is end time stuff.
I know, but you're not supposed to sit and just wait for the end. You're supposed to go out and do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like the whole reason for it being there is to tell us to keep in mind that the times are urgent and that we should tell people about Christ.
But
not that we should
to show that it's happening. I mean, God warned us that it's going to be happening. So that's why he said, watch, and you will see the end is near, but you're to keep pressing on until the end, which is not easy. Actually, that's part of my problem. I do feel like it's really close to the end and that the rapture is really soon. So I'm kind of like, why am I spending all this energy putting in raised beds and gardens? Why am I spending all this energy doing all these videos? I mean, right now, you know, why are we doing all of this? Because what's the point if we're leaving soon? So why expend what zero amount of energy I have at the moment doing this stuff? So if you want the planner, Yvonne, right here, livingonadime.com, the shop, click on it and it's in there. It's a 360-day planner. That's why it's so thick. But yeah.
Paula says, my 40th birthday hit me harder than any other decade birthday. I'll be 65 soon, and I'm okay with that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's funny because I've had family that were upset when they turned 30, and I don't understand why.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Because he has you right here and now. Yes. Well, and I know that. I mean, bye, Beth. Because and part of it is, you know, we're giving away Bibles, and we give away a lot of Bibles. Last week we had a pallet of Bibles come because we're giving them away so quickly. So, you know, I'm really glad that we have that opportunity to do that, and that people, you know, want to know and learn and that kind of thing. So, do we go to church instead of watching from home? Yes, we attend the church in person. So, I mean, I don't know. I think we're just all tired. And part of it is spiritual warfare. Like when we do the Bible videos and we talk about the Bibles, like everything seems to go wrong, or we have one thing after another happen. And so then it's kind of draining doing that. So, but yeah, so I know that we're supposed to keep going, but I'm tired. So, and I have taken off. Everybody's like, well, just take off work. Well, we have taken off. I've taken off a couple months at a time, but it doesn't help me feel any better. So that's why we just keep going. So Grandma says hi, everyone. So what countries are involved in the end times war? Are you talking about Ezekiel 38 and 39? Let's see. I know it's Russia, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Syria, I think. I don't know if that's all of them or not. I don't remember for sure. What jobs did you do before YouTube? So I didn't do anything before YouTube, and he was a video producer.
Yep.
And he made, let's see, he was a video producer, and he made what, 7 times less money than we do now.
Yeah, I didn't make much money being a video produa for
It did not
almost
pay
20
well.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly for PBS and for universities and I guess a few other things.
Yeah. Pastor John MacArthur says he's not prepping. He's prepping for eternity. So I'm not prepping for the tribulation. I don't prep for the tribulation. And if you're prepping for the tribulation, there's no way you're going to be able to prep for that. It's going to be so horridly bad. There is no way you can prep at all for the tribulation, for the 7-year tribulation in the Bible. You're not going to be able to do it. But we prep for blizzards, tornadoes, floods, mudslides, job loss, sickness, all of those types of things. That's why we prep, because I have lived through all of those. I have lived through job loss. I have lived through mudslides. I have lived through floods. I have lived through tornadoes. The town that we used to live in Kansas just got smashed by a tornado again. What, last week, 2 weeks ago? As a matter of fact, if you guys have seen the video of the school in Andover, Kansas, the school video, that's the school my kids went to. And the YMCA in Andover, that's the YMCA we used to go to. And our house was literally, if you look at a map, our house was like this far from the tornado on the map. Yeah. I mean, it was
probably
crazy.
Had a lot of debris in the yard.
Yeah. So that's why we prep, because we've had to live through all those. But I ain't prepping for the tribulation because, first of all, I'm not going to be here. Secondly, I'm not going to be here. And thirdly, I'm not going to be here. Now, there might be friends and families and neighbors that are going to be here, and they'll be able to use the stuff that we have. That'll only get them through a few months. It's not going to get them through 7 years by any stretch of the imagination. So I don't prep for that kind of stuff. So anyway, and yeah, so let's see.
Oh, thank you, Susan. I liked when Mike and the boys cooked. That was fun. It was fun when we would take over for Tara and do that. Especially Dave and I had some silliness on there that was fun.
Yeah. So they can take over doing that. They can't take over doing the prepping stuff because Mike doesn't want to do it. So, and that's fine.
And I'm not really following any prepping thing, and it's coming from the background I came from. I find that focusing on it too much will cause more anxiety than it will solve. So that's why I'm not very into that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like staying away from news if the news bothers you a lot. So
Jesus said, do not worry what you eat or drink, for tomorrow will take care of itself. Yes, but the Bible also says that Joseph prepped, and you need to be like the ant and store up for the winter. So yes, if you can't take care of your needs, God is going to take care of them for you if you are a Christian. If you have admitted you're a sinner, believe that Jesus died on the cross and rose again, and given your life to Christ, confessed your sins and asked him to be your Lord and Savior, then you are a child of God, and then you will be going to heaven. But not the entire world is not a child of God. That is a lie straight from the pit of hell. Not everyone is a child of God, and that is just not true. So, yeah. Do we feel like we need to prep for the craziness before the rapture? I don't know. I'm just doing my normal thing, and I'm not really worrying about it. I don't know that. I don't know how bad it's going to get. The Bible doesn't say how bad it's going to get before the rapture. We could have World War III. The Bible didn't predict or prophesy World War I and II. So yeah, there could be World War III. But do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. But I don't know for sure. So I'm not going to definitely say no because, it could be. So, let's see. What else do we have here? Fear not, faith answered, and no one was there. Ooh, that's deep. I hadn't heard that one. Yeah. So splurge and take a nice vacation to Hawaii. I read all these books from the 1920s, and the mom always has this breakdown, or she gets sick or something, and then they go to the beach for the summer. I kind of feel like that's what we need to do, but where would we go to the beach for the summer? I have no idea. I don't even like sand, but do people really think you practice witchcraft? How do you know these things? I have no idea what that comment means. So if you want to elaborate a little bit more, but I don't think people think we teach witchcraft. So, Julie, what you've done for us and what we like about you, I could write a long letter. Oh, thanks. Thanks so much. And I can't remember her name. Was it Joan or Jane or Julie? It started with J, I think. I got the revelation, the revealing revelation books today. thank you so much. I'll see if I can find your email. I have tons of emails that I haven't gone through, so I'm going to try and email it just in case. I wanted to thank you for that. Bird, have you noticed people or families seem to be more divided and angry? And yes, the Bible talks about in the end times. Mother will be against son, father against daughter, mother-in-law against them, kids against parents. Yeah. Do we believe in the Word of God? Yes, I believe strictly in the Holy Bible, 66 books of the Bible, and I think that they are all relevant to us. So yes. I don't know who Troy Black is. And as far as prophetic messages go, what you need to do is just see if they come true and if they're biblical. If it's something that's not in the Bible, those people are a false teacher. If it's something that's in the Bible and then they say something else and it doesn't come true, then you know it wasn't from God. So then I wouldn't watch that person anymore. So that's how you tell. It says to test the spirits. Well, you're testing to see if those things come true. But irony alert, Monique says, I live by the beach. I haven't gone in years. That's fine. That's hilarious.
Why do we believe in the Word of God? Because, well, first of all, God gave it to us, but we know that he did because of a lot of reasons. But one of the biggest ones is that it predicts all sorts of things that have come true. And no other book has done that.
Yeah.
And
hundreds of prophecies have come true.
Is it just hundreds? Anyway.
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. All of the prophecies have come true except a few that are, well, it's unclear. There appears that there might be a few that are still in the future. And for nothing else has any prophecies that have come true. And it's interesting because some people will say, well, how do you know they came true if they came true hundreds of years ago? But the most recent example would be Israel coming back as a nation. Many people don't know, if you haven't read the Bible, Israel was completely, well, they weren't destroyed, but they were dissolved as a nation, conquered by other countries.
The only nation ever in the history of time to come back as a
between
nation.
600 and 400 BC.
Mm-hmm.
And they have come back in the 1940s, and that was in 48. That was prophesied, and then it came to pass. So a lot of people who are alive now were here when Israel wasn't a nation at all, and there was no expectation that it would be one. So just there were a lot of prophecies, but that's the most recent, like, big one. So that's how we know. And also,
but little things like the mark of, like in Revelation, it talks about the mark of the beast, where you're going to have either a tattoo or something in your hand or forehead, and you won't be able to buy or sell. We already have that technology. If it's a tattoo, we have QR codes now that people can scan, and they could do a QR code to where you know, type thing, or UPC code type thing. The microchips, they're already putting microchips in people's hands. So that's something that we already see the technology. It talks about the 2 witnesses preaching to the whole world live, and then the whole world sees them killed. They're dead for 3 days, and then they come back to life. We already have that technology for live streaming all over the world now. And even just as, 2 or 3 years ago, some places in the world couldn't have internet. Well, thanks to Elon Musk, pretty much every single place in the world now can have internet and watch this stuff. And so you see the technology being developed now that's following in the book of Revelation. Digital currency, talking about a one world digital currency, talking about one world governments, things like people worshiping creation instead of the creator. Look at with this whole earth warming thing. I can't even say the words anymore because YouTube's going to flag me. So the whole earth warming thing, we're worshiping the earth. Well, right there, that's Romans 1, I think. Romans 1, right there, where you're worshiping the creator. And the way people worship their animals, they're worshiping creation instead of the creator. And so all of that is coming true. So, thanks, Paula. She loves her volume 2 cookbook right here. Get it, guys, now, because prices are going up Monday. Are there any prophets that we listen to? No, I do not listen to any prophets. Occasionally I'll come across one and listen, and just out of curiosity, and then see if it comes true. And so far I haven't run across one that hasn't come true. It doesn't mean that they're not out there. I just haven't run across it yet. So, let's see. Where do you find in the Bible about pre-tribulation? So there's lots and lots of verses, but let me go here real quick.
While she's looking that up, Grandma 54, I'm concerned about all the people that accepted Jesus as their Savior years ago, but now they do not believe everything the Bible says. You can be saved and be confused about something in the Bible, but if you reject Christ, then you were never saved to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
That would be that.
Yeah. Okay. 1 Thessalonians 4:13 through 18 is one. 1 Thessalonians 5:9, Revelations 3:10. Those are a few Bible verses right there. I am putting the link in to gotquestions.org for you to go look it up yourself. They have a good article on that. And so, yeah, that's where you can find it, Faith. Let's see. Sometimes it feels like things are only happening to you and your family, but it's happening all over. Oh, yeah, it's happening all over. Yeah, we talk to Christians all the time, and they're like, I just can't believe this is happening or that happening. And so, yeah, I mean, and, the Bible talks about in the end time there's going to be knowledge, but no wisdom. Oh, my goodness, if that is not true now. It also talks about people moving to and fro. Look at how much people are moving around. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, you can see the Bible just coming alive before your eyes, and it's just really, really interesting. So, what is your favorite Bible verse or book? I don't really have one. I don't know. I just sort of read it all, but I don't know if I have a favorite.
My favorite book is Romans, and my favorite verse is Revelation 21, 4-5. So, yeah.
So, I mean, oops, I posted the wrong thing there. Sorry about that. Oh, yay. Thanks, Beverly, for ordering. Yeah, thanks, everybody, for ordering. Here's the ordering one more time for those of you wondering, because our prices are going up on Monday. So if you want one of our cookbooks, guys, right here, grab it. Monday, they're going up. True Christians have the same power to cast out spirits causing discord. Yes, Karen, that is true, but it doesn't mean you're not going to have a little bit of misery sometimes also. So, but yes, you are right on that. And Christians, if you're a born-again Christian, Satan can't harm you. He can torment you and he can do all he wants to try to irritate you, but he can't harm you.
He can only do what God has allowed him to do.
Yeah. Kathy says, I think we as Christians feel the same way, Tara. Why do this and that when the rapture is at our fingertips? Because we are commanded to go about our Father's work till we go home. Yes. We're commanded to go about our Father's work, but that doesn't mean I have to be putting in the raised beds. It doesn't mean I need to be cleaning the toilet.
I think that's part of the issue is if you're looking and trying to figure out the times more specifically, it does make it harder to go about the work because it's if you think it's coming tomorrow, then it might prevent you from doing things today. So
yeah. Do we see anywhere in the Bible about the United States and end times? No. The United States is not in the end times in Bible. Lynn, maybe you just need a vacation. I know. I took 6 weeks off back in February and March, and it didn't do anything. So I just need some medication, I guess. I don't know. Marilyn went right over something.
You're talking about me?
I'm not sure which comment she was talking about, but yeah.
I was wondering about that.
I've heard live every day like it's your last, but prepare as if you have 100 years. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you think the World Wide Web is mentioned in Revelation? Yes. Talks about the two witnesses being seen all over the world preaching, and then they are killed, and then they are resurrected. So I definitely think that's the internet right there. It also talks about how in the end times there's going to be a whole bunch of knowledge, but no wisdom. I think that's the internet right there in a nutshell. So
it doesn't specifically say the internet, but what it says is that everyone will be able to see. So that would seem to be legitimate. That would be the case. Some of those things you have to kind of like with the United States or countries, you have to sometimes you have to look at that and see what it says. Like where their countries are mentioned by name, then you can tell, but a lot of times it uses the ancient names. But a lot of things like the internet, it's pretty clear that right now everyone could see. So that would make sense.
Hi, Tara. Thank you for answering my questions. I heard one of your previous videos on staying at home, and you had some introspective thoughts on the matter. Oh, yeah, I do. But I hope it helped. I don't know. Would you ever talk about hormones as we get older? I mean, probably not. Maybe, I guess, but it's not really what our audience is about. So, have you ever thought about the two witnesses could be two nations? No, I don't think it'll be two nations. I think there's a lot of literal things in the Bible that people try to make, what's it called? Parables, I guess, maybe, that I really think are literal. But that one I think is going to be literal.
Specifically say two witnesses in front of the wailing wall?
Yes, the two witnesses in front of the wailing wall. So go to a spa. Actually, that's the problem. That stuff just doesn't help me feel better. So I don't know what my issue is. The doctor put me on some medication about 5 weeks ago. She put me on a stimulant. Nothing stimulated. Absolutely
For a couple of days, she said
stimulated.
She thought she was feeling better, and then after that, nothing.
She was scaring us by running back and forth on the patio like crazy.
The first day I went to take the stimulant, I told him, I said, I'm going to be like, what's that Speedy Gonzalez in the cartoons. So just as a joke, all the kids were here that day. And so, well, BJ wasn't, but Ellie was here. So I decided to take the pill the first day. And we have this really, really long deck. We have this hugely long deck. So just out of honoriness, I went out our bedroom door and I zoomed across the living room door. And then I turned around and I zoomed back. Just to be silly, but it didn't give me any energy. So, yeah. I know some people who believe in the post-tribulation rapture. What are your thoughts on that? The pre-tribulation rapture, no matter what, should be prepared for Christ's return. I mean, yeah, I'm totally pre-trib all the way. Robert Breaker. I said his name wrong in the last video, but Robert Breaker, Breaker has a really good video on that. Matthew 24 explained. It's really, really good. I'm going to put the link in there. After watching that, it just sealed the deal. I was before, but we are not destined to wrath. The Bible says we are not destined to wrath. So I do not believe that we are going to be here for the tribulation. So, and why, if we are the bride of Christ, would your groom allow you to be beaten to a pulp and killed killed before the wedding? That just doesn't make sense. So yes, I have tried moringa. Thank you, DL Ford. Do you sleep well? Yes, I sleep like 8 hours a night and it doesn't do me any good. So
would you still caution your viewers to prep for the grid going down? I would say you want to prep for anything that could happen, and that would be one thing that
Yep.
is reasonably likely.
Yeah, I think it's very likely the grid would go down. I have people that I personally know who work with the grid, and they have said people are crazy for not prepping for the grid going down. So that's why I have a rocket stove. That's why I have another means for cooking and all of that kind of thing. So, have you ever considered a chiropractor? Yes, I've actually been to many, and none of them will do anything. Susie, I've been on this medication for 6 weeks now, and I'm still not feeling any stimulation at all. I'm just dead. As a matter of fact, we went to Rocky Mountain National Park, and Mike was like, "Oh, isn't this beautiful? Oh, that's so wonderful. Oh," and I'm just like, I feel nothing. I'm here, but I could care less.
And she was kind of staring off in his face and saying, all right.
Yeah. Really, I could care less about anything at the moment. So.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry. I could drop dead at the moment, and I would be absolutely fine with that. Let's see. Doesn't mean I don't love you. I just don't care at the moment. So.
See what I have to put up with.
My vitamin D is fine, and yes, I've been on fish oil for years. My thyroid's been tested. Everything's been tested. So all of that has been tested. But yeah, so all of that. Acupuncture. Oh, I tried acupuncture once. I'll never do that again. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. Actually, yeah, that was really good. So could I be depressed? I mean, I'm sure I could be depressed, but I've been depressed my whole life, so nothing's ever changed that. So I'm just even more so than normal. Have I tried kombucha? No, I am very allergic to mold, and so probiotics and those kind of things make me really sick. Let's see.
Are you tired? Do you want to go? It's been 2 hours.
Yes. So anyway, have you tried orange juice? Actually, orange juice is one thing that does make me feel better. Citric acid does make me feel better. So I do take out, oops, sorry about that. I do take Alka-Seltzer a lot. That does make me feel better, but is this a part of fibromyalgia? Yeah, probably. So, and yes, I'm on my B12 and all that. I have the MTHFR gene, so I'm on everything for that. And so, yeah. So anyway, yeah, I do. Guys, our books are going up in price on Monday. Don't say we did not warn you. This is your warning. Our prices are going up. We do have our planners. We have all of our planners. They are undated. And I do have a limited supply of planners. I'm not going to reorder till I find a bigger printer on that. Could it be my hormones? I mean, yeah, I'm sure it could be. I'm almost 50, so I wouldn't be surprised if that would be my issue also. What? What do you mean it's my hormones? Just kidding. I'm only kidding. I'm not doing that now.
You're not. Oh.
There's a reason why people are married 27 years and they get divorced, and then people say, well, I don't understand. They were such a happy couple. I'm just
I see how you are.
kidding. I'm only kidding. For all the people out there who are going to say something, I'm just kidding. So
sure you are.
So yeah, so let's see. Shirley recently found our channel. Yay, I'm so glad. I have tried the B12 shots before, and that didn't do anything for me either.
Wow,
so,
and it's pretty late in the UK, Shirley, but we're really glad you're here.
Do we think that the church in general dropped the ball during the pandemic? Yes.
Well,
the first 2 weeks, I'll give them the first 2 weeks when nobody knew what was going on. But I came on the air. I need to go back and find the video. But around April 1st, I said, this is not what they're claiming it is. You can tell by the numbers. This is not going to be like 1917, 1919 Spanish flu. You could tell 2 weeks in. And yes, all the churches dropped the ball. That's why I still listen to churches like Jack Hibbs. I'll listen to John MacArthur. But churches that stayed closed, I know they were trying to do the right thing, but my view of them did not. I'm very cautious about churches that closed for a long time.
I would say that not all churches dropped the ball, but that it was kind of a division where you could see which churches really meant what they said.
Yeah.
Really followed God and trust God, and which ones were willing to go with the world instead.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Josephine, is it in the Bible? God helps those who help themselves.
No.
It's nothing. Why would you need God if you could help yourself? Now, you are to work. You're not to be lazy, and you are to do what you can. But nowhere in the Bible does it say that. And
it also doesn't say the works save you.
No.
It says you should do works because you're saved, but
yes,
not the other way around.
Being good, doing good things is not going to get you into heaven. So yeah, I don't think that. Do I have a better channel of what you want to go the direction of your channel?
What?
Nope. But it gives us something to think about, and it gives us something to ponder. So I was kind of hoping I might have a clear picture pretty soon. But honestly, this has been for 25 years. This has been our problem. Because under the guise of living on a dime, doing everything to save money, this has been our problem the entire time. And so that's been our problem. So yeah, we need to just figure out what we're about and just go with it and stick with it. But it's figuring out what we're about that's the problem. So I don't know. Wow, Kimberly, is he still in prison? So the minister in Canada is still in jail because he kept trying to have services. I know who you're talking about. And wow, that's really sad. And that's the kind of thing the Bible talks about. Christians are going to be persecuted in the end times. And so, yeah, yeah, that's awful.
You getting tired?
So, Tiff says she's a massage therapist. So if we ever move to Arkansas, then we can, or Arkansas, excuse me, then we can go to her. We had a really great lady in Colorado, and I went to go see her while we were down there. But we missed Sam. We loved Sam. She was the best. So anyway,
yeah,
all right,
definitely.
guys, 25% off right now. But let me tell you, the prices are going up on Monday. This is your warning. I don't say it anymore. Your prices are going up Monday. We still have our planners also. These are undated, so you can use them all along. You are being attacked, Tara. Yes, honestly, I think that we are being attacked because we are spreading the gospel. And so I do think that is part of the problem. And I do know that a lot of people who are spreading the gospel are having physical problems, like Amir, Pastor JD, some of them, Pastor Jack. They have had physical problems, and I think it's just part of being Christians, spreading the word of God, that if you call on the name of Jesus, you will be saved. So, yeah, if you need a Bible, go to livingonadime.com, go to the shop. We will give it to you for free if you cannot afford one. Can't afford one, please buy it. That just helps us to give more to people who can't afford one. And we will see you guys later. Have a good night. livingonadime.com.
Bye.